Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we have some very interesting guests with us. Today as well, we have Sir AsimAlam with us, who is the CEO of WEBDOC. Assalamualaikum sir, how are you?
Not too bad. Thank you very much for asking. I'm absolutely fine. Thank you.
Right, sir, I would like to start off with your background. So can you share a bit about your background and your journey that led you to become the CEO of WEBDOC?
Yeah, I'm actually an MBA graduate, majored in marketing, and I'm also ACCA. Started jobs in different industries, but my first job was in the insurance industry. So I worked there for quite a few years. Then I came abroad in UK, and I've been working in insurance industry for quite a while. Back in 2014, I went back to Pakistan, started working in telecom industry, specifically the financial service industry in telecom. And I think this is where it all started. My mind started working as an entrepreneur. And this is where I think the journey for the entrepreneurship started. And this is a little story for myself.
Right. So, sir, what inspired you to pursue a career in the healthcare technology industry?
So, initially when I decided that I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I was actually looking for the gap in the industry. So, what is the right gap in the industry, and how can we actually provide those certain niche services to the customer? And in 2017, I realized this is before COVID. I realized that people in Pakistan, especially about 67% of people in Pakistan, lives in the agriculture area, which is the rural areas of Pakistan. They do not have much access to the right doctors, we call it. So there are only one per 1,000 uh, uh, patients. We have one doctor in Pakistan, and all these doctors are actually working in the urban areas of Pakistan. Very few work in the semi-urban area of Pakistan. But when you talk about the rural areas, the dynamics of Pakistan says we've got Hakim, we've got other sort of doctors.
Right.
So I thought we should provide access to the customers. And because I was working in the telecom industry, I thought that's the best way because everyone is using the telephone. So I came towards the telemedicine side. So this is how it was invented.
Right. So, sir, what are the core values or guiding principles that drive you and your company?
So the core value of my company and myself is to actually provide the real services to the customers. So when we started from the rural areas of Pakistan, we very well knew that there are no doctor services. There's no access to any family living in the rural areas with very less budgets. They cannot actually have any access to the doctors. Neither they have the affordability to the doctors. We decided that we were going to provide them the access and the affordability. However, that has to create some value for them, and the value was that we actually bring very qualified doctors into our business, and then make sure that the doctor actually provides super good services to the customers. Then the customers actually understand their services and they start actually getting it. So it was a challenge. I really want to make, still we're still working on it, still making sure that everyone has doctors in their pocket. That used to be our mantra, in the start, and we're still working on it. So the core values are to actually provide super good services, gain trust, and be honest while providing our services, and that has led us to where we are today.
Right. So, sir, how do you approach leading and managing a company like WebDoc?
Yeah, I think I started this in 2017. Today we've got more than uh, 200 direct employees. We have over 1,500 indirect employees. So almost touching 2,000 this year. That's a big work, and I think I have a wonderful team. I mean, my team is fantastic. As we grew, we started making certain departments. We started bringing professional people. The team is really the core for the business, and I think my team is fantastic. Most of them have been with me for as long as WebDoc is there. So most of my team members are there when we actually started it. So they're all very senior now. Some of the professionals we hired from the market as per the need, and I think the team is doing fantastically good. They're actually making it easy for me to run the business while I'm traveling to UK and US, where we have other business, where WebDoc has other subsidiaries now. So I think real the team, the processes we have made, the values we have created, people are following it, and team is doing excellent.
Right. So, sir, can you describe your typical day in your role as the CEO?
Oh yes. So I'm an early starter. I start exactly 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes half an hour before 9 o'clock in the morning. My real job is to make sure that my team is very comfortable. So I sit down with my team every day. I discuss each and everything with them. I actually go through our quality assurance processes. I love building the products. So product development is one of my main side. Because we are a technology company, I am learning how to do well in technology. So I'm always with my team. So my job is to assist them, to direct them in the right direction, and make sure the plans are actually executed right. And this needs my time to spend with the team, and this is what I do. I always become part of team and work really hard with my team to ensure that we provide the right services.
Right. So, sir, can you share some examples of significant achievements or successful projects that WebDoc has undertaken under your supervision or your leadership?
So I think ever since we started, I mean, it's not because WebDoc is my baby and I started it. I believe ever since we started, every day we have done some achievements. I mean, today we have more than 45 million customers. That's on its own is a big achievement. Not many companies in Pakistan have actually 45 million customers. Then we are working with all five telcos of Pakistan, which means the potential to grow WebDoc is still we can still grow another 400% within WebDoc because we have the access to those customers now through the telco partners. We are working with many microfinance banks. That's another great achievement. We issue more than 3 million prescriptions every year. That is phenomenal, great. And all these, the quality assurance for these prescriptions is over 98%. So we call it net promoter value. So that is over 98%, which is phenomenal by the team. We still need to improve, but yeah, I mean, this is one good thing. We help our partners to issue more than 2 million insurance policies every single day. That's another great work WebDoc is doing for the financial inclusion. We have now started our Pakistan's first phygital clinics, where people can actually physically go and be treated by the doctors, or they can then, I mean, if they want to speak to the consultants, they have this phygital room where they can actually go and digitally speak to the doctors. We are in process of starting our own e-pharmacy. We are also started providing e-lab testing services. We are, I mean, on the verge of start providing international doctor services. We already have our office established in USA, in UK. So very soon we're going to start providing services of international doctors to Pakistani people. Imagine, a person sitting in Tata has only 10 rupees in his pocket and he wants to speak to Mr. George, who is a consultant in California. So this will be possible hopefully in next 1 month, inshallah. So this is another great service. So I think, I mean, every year, every day, we have been achieving something, and the team is making me proud. WebDoc is doing phenomenal good, and you can leave me on this, and I can go through all these 5,000 days we spent in a WebDoc. We have done something really good every day.
Right. So, sir, what do you find most rewarding about being the CEO of healthcare technology company?
So I think in the start it was that whether I could be a very good entrepreneur. With the passage of time, I've learned that yes, I could be a very good entrepreneur. But I think the satisfaction, the value we are providing to our customers, and that, I mean, that inner satisfaction that we are actually providing a real value to people's life. I think that you can't find really anywhere. I mean, I think this is my satisfaction that we are providing some serious business. I mean, people are getting ill and we are actually able to provide them medicine and services. And, my doctors can actually reach somebody in Gotki or whatever, village and still provide the service. So I think that satisfaction that we are providing services to people who normally cannot access the doctors. So I think this is a great satisfaction.
Right. So, sir, how do you foster collaboration and communication within your team and your clients?
So I think this is all. It's a very important part of business that you have good relationship between the clients and your team. The team is equally important. You cannot work you cannot work and progress without your team. And similarly with the clients, you have to have a very close relationship. And I personally think I have a very healthy, very growing and outstanding relationship with my partners. I have a super good relationship with my colleagues. So I think being humble, being kind, and the power of listening, that really makes a huge difference. And I think I'm really good at that.
Right. So, sir, what do you believe sets WebDoc apart from other healthcare technology companies?
So all the technology companies, healthcare technology companies, are doing absolutely great services. I mean, all my competitors, they are super good. Most of them are actually doctors running the companies, so I presume they're better than me because they are doctors. I'm not a doctor. However, I think WebDoc is very unique in the way that we're not only working in healthcare and providing doctor services. However, we are going beyond that. I mean, for example, um, a person living in a rural area in a gaon has only a very small amount of money, say 5 rupees, to get access to the
Right.
doctor. But then, if the doctor says that go to the hospital and get admitted, WebDoc can then provide insurance for a very similar sort of 1 2 rupees, and this guy can actually go to the insurance. And imagine this is not the only thing we're doing. I mean, we are providing veterinary services to all the agriculture people living in different government villages. The very important household income comes from their bakri and bhans and all these things, right? And the buffaloes. The livestock is their livelihood. So we are also providing their doctors. We are actually helping them with the agriculture experts to grow their crops and provide them better yield. We are helping them if they don't have an access to the lawyers and somebody come and kabza kar lete hain unke gaon ke upar or unki zameen ke upar. We also have that lawyer services for the very similar price. And I think WebDoc is unique in the way that we are actually providing life cycle services rather than just the health services. So health services are our main business. However, then we also provide them health insurance, vet insurance, vet doctors, agriculture experts, and even, I mean, we provide offline Google services. Imagine somebody sitting in one of the gaons and he want to know, where is Imran Khan? I mean, who is Joe Biden? Or what is the score of Pakistani team playing in England today? All this training here. But I mean, they want to know this. So and they don't have the internet access because only 71, 72% people have an access to 4G. So all the other
Right.
people sitting in those rural areas can simply dial a number, speak to those services, and our agents are actually providing them services through the Google. So I think that's a very unique service. So WebDoc is working in different
Definitely.
industry, and this is why we are unique.
Right. So, sir, outside of work, what are some of your interests or hobbies that you're passionate about?
हाँ, वैसे तो we don't get really much time to do anything outside our work, but I think I love playing cricket. I love playing snooker. I love to be a part of my friend parties and events. I love taking my wife and children to different places, and traveling is one of my hobbies also. But I think every time I get a chance, I do explore new areas and spend time with the friends. Probably that's the very important part of my life.
Right. So, sir, what challenges do you face in your role and how would you address them?
So I think b- being the captain of any team or being the leader of any organization, you face challenges every day. The biggest challenge is always decision making. So at my job, I mean, I'm not a technical guy. I'm not the salesperson now. I'm not the accountant. I'm not the service provider. I'm not the product manager. But my job is to make sure that all of these guys are working well within their departments, and I'm making the right decisions because every decision I make that matters. I mean, that matters for my colleagues, that matters for my partners, that matters for the customers we're dealing with. So I think the basic challenge every CEO, at least I face every day, is to ensure that we make the right decisions for everything. And I think uh, the analysis gives you a huge boost. So my data team is really, really good. So they make my decision making much easier for me. But that decision making is a real challenge for everyday life.
Right. So, sir, can you describe a particularly memorable or significant success story from your time as the CEO of WebDoc?
So I think one of the very popular story we have, which was a great achievement by our team. I mean, I always quote this everywhere that when we actually when we actually started in 2017, back in 2017, we received one call from a gaon called Thata. This is why I always remember that goat Thata and Sen. Where one of the old ladies in 70s, um, her child gave us a call, and they spoke to the doctors, and they explained that their mother is going from a serious pain from years, and that pain was her kidney pain. However, they didn't know this, and they were trying to go to normal hakims and peer and different cultural pundits we have, right? So one of our doctors actually treated this very seriously, and they started asking them questions and questions and questions, trying to differentially diagnose the person. And then they actually provided them a very simple medicine. I don't remember the name of the medicine, but I remember that was one of the cheapest medicine you can find for the market. And we took the step to send it because at that time we never used to deliver medicine. So we took the time to send that medicine to this lady, and this lady took this medicine. She called back in about 5 days' time and she said, she's perfectly fine. So all this pain of years have gone. And just because of a simple medicine, I think there cannot be anything more satisfactory for you that uh, you know, without that medicine, this lady was suffering. And just a simple medicine, probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the time of the doctor, have actually given that relief. And I think this is the most satisfaction thing you get when your clients are pretty happy and you're actually really helping the human beings.
Right. So, sir, finally, how do you see the future of WebDoc? I would divide this question into two parts. Firstly, how do you see the future of WebDoc evolving, and what role do you envision yourself playing at this evolution? Second is an advice that you would want to give to somebody.
Okay. So I think the future of WebDog, inshallah, is very, very, very bright. So in 7 years' time, we have reached to 45 million customers. We have now gone international. We are going to be international this year in USA, in UK, and Afghanistan. So I think this is a great thing we are doing. WebDoc this year will have its own insurance company. That is another huge thing we are going to do. We have started our phygital clinics. We are going to start our digital hospital this year. So they are all under construction. So by the end of this year, we will be available in different areas of Pakistan. I think these are some of the achievements, short-term goals we're looking at. But long-term goal is very, very simple, that we want to be in everybody's pocket. WebDoc needs to be in the pocket of everyone when they think about the healthcare, insurance, financial inclusion, these things. I think I can see a huge potential in Pakistan market and in other markets, especially in US market. And I see WebDoc growing very, very quickly, inshallah. So keep an eye on this. WebDoc is going to have a great future. And when you say, how do I see myself? I mean, I wish I can, because the company is 100% owned by me as well. So it looks like that I'm going to be here for some time, and these people have to be working with me for some time. And this is going to, as long as WebDoc is going to evolve into a serious business, I'm not going anywhere, inshallah. So I'm going to be there. And then the third question you said, uh, what?
One advice you would want to give to someone aspiring their career basically in health technology
So
sector.
I mean, I'll not stop myself saying only health technology, but I
Okay.
will say, in Pakistan, we have great opportunities. The great opportunities for a reason that we are actually a developing nation. So when you come to these developed countries like UK, England, you go to US, Canada, these are developed countries. They're doing so much better than us in Pakistan. However, if we take good ideas, if we choose the right niche, we put our efforts, do a very good research, build a team, And I mean, rather than doing jobs, my advice to all these youngsters will be to make sure that they go towards entrepreneurship. Find the right niche. I mean, find what customers require, what does people need, and why we are not able to provide them those particular things. I mean, it could be healthcare, it could be, imagine there is no, I mean, mental health. In Pakistan, 83% people suffer from mental health. However, in Pakistan, we don't even know what is mental health. I mean, we only believe mental health is somebody when it gets pagal. This is not mental
Exactly.
health. Every one of us is one way or other depressed. We're in an anxiety. We are going through some sort of trauma. Maybe it's a domestic issue or professional issue or whatever it is. But that is mental health. And nobody's working on it. So I think, I mean, imagine there's a huge gap in financial inclusion. Banks are working for it. There's a huge gap in fintech industry, health tech industry, insure tech industry. You name it. I mean, imagine you name it. There's gaps everywhere in Pakistan. This is the right time for all the youngsters to go towards entrepreneurship. Find the right niche. You don't really need huge investment to start anything. Imagine I started this company with 15 lakh rupees, right? And I mean, that was all I had. So I started this company with that money. Alhamdulillah, today we are closing a business of over 3 billion every year. So Allah Ta'ala has been so kind, but you need to put those efforts, find the right areas, find that niche, and then work hard towards it. And I'm sure you're going to get it, inshallah.
So, done with this short interaction here. Thank you so much for the time that you pull out for this discussion. I hope that
Thank
the
you.
people who are going to watch us would be able to learn something out of this discussion. Once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting. You take care of yourself.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.